I know this is a broke up, jacked up video. I had a lot of trouble with this thing. It just was not as simple as I thought it was going. Special delivery. Y'all have already seen this. Y'all have already seen me drink coffee too. Hog and bones. There you go. Special delivery right here though. Oh yeah. Man, the lighting looks terrible looking through that lens. I hope it's better than that for y'all. GrassFlap. Yep, we getting ready to close this chute off right here, man. Sure enough. Brand new piece of equipment. We gonna drill holes in it already? Hey, stay tuned and see. All right, I got everything out of the pack. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. This is the no drill mounting bracket, which I'm sure is probably gonna actually go like that. May go the other way, but anyway, I'm gonna just let this camera run. I'm gonna kind of talk through it. There are gonna be places where I speed this up, or maybe places where I pause and take a break where, you know, information that you don't need or whatever. So that's the plan, is just kind of set y'all up and to kind of work through this, work through the instructions. So you got a bag of hardware that comes here. I'm gonna go ahead and take all of this hardware out and get it laid out, and then I'm gonna turn you back. All right, here's what we got so far. This is the no drill mounting bracket, which goes through the existing holes. I don't know if they sent me anything to go in these holes, but right now I got the two 1" 3/8 bolts, got it mounted down. I have not drilled the extra hole back here. There's a hole in the deck, but there's not one in here. The next step, and I'm gonna be honest, for me, in my opinion, these are pretty bad instructions, just being honest. Advanced chute system, when I put it on, had much easier to read instructions, in my opinion. I don't have the highest IQ though, so you know, there's that. Anyway, I'm gonna you know, the paperwork to me looks like this bracket is to be flipped upside down. This is the top of the deck. Flip upside down, drill your extra hole back here. The problem is if you do that, this piece will not go inside of there. It just won't do it. So I don't know. I've tried every way I know to try. Maybe I've got it wrong. But anyway, let me show you the next step, which is going to be putting the spring assembly, the spring mount, onto the flap. So here we go. All right, so you got what I'm calling the flap here. You got this spring assembly. I'm gonna try to put this around where you can see it again. To, you know, pretty simple. You got a big hole here that goes over this existing nut. You're just gonna loosen up this here, which is about a 1/2 or a 12 millimeter. You're gonna slide this over that nut. Put this in from the back side. Put it on. I got the wrong ratchet. I'm gonna tighten it down. I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten it down. To be honest, this does have a slot in it for adjustment, so I assume that at some point we're gonna have to adjust. That spring's gonna end up going around here. My concern is this, that my flap sets so high. Now I'm not worried about down here, but I'm worried about these couple of bolts that's going to be in the very top of this flap. I'm worried about them being all the way at the top of it. So, but anyway, I'm just mounting it the only way I can. So I'm going to slide y'all in a little closer here. Actually, I might just put you right here. Sorry about that. Let me just put you right here, and again, this is going to be pretty simple. And you know, I haven't read a place yet that called for using a washer. you know, in the instructions, again, that's just, I haven't seen a place yet that called for using them. So anyway, I'm trying to find somewhere here. I'm not sure what you need these 1 1/4 inch bolts for either, to be honest, but I'm gonna put a washer on here. It doesn't call for it, but I got a bunch of them laying around. If I figure out what they go to later, I'll have to come back and take them off. So goes life. All right, here we go. I'll probably speed this up. All right, the instructions did finally say to use some washers, but from what I could gather, let me see here, that's 3 and 3. It wanted to put 4 between here and here. That would lift this up, for my application, would lift this bad boy up too high. From every indicator I can tell. There again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm losing my mind, but I have got to do, you know, what's going to work for me. The next step was to cut the flap. They tell you to allow at least a 1/2 inch beyond each opening. Obviously, I have taken and I'm going to leave more than that on mine. I mean, you can kind of see what I cut out here. I'm going about 1 inch in front of the front and then a little bit past the back of this assembly. I did round the corners down here a little bit, and I did that because I'm going to have mine down low. Probably not all the way on the ground because I do not want this plastic to hit, but I'm gonna have it close to the bottom. And then if it catches on the ground or something, I just put a little bit of a slope on there. So that's the deal there. So have not figured out why they would want me to lift this up, but anyway, if I figure it out, I will let you know. All right, so I told you I'm gonna get my flap up probably a 1/4 inch, above this bottom, at least a 1/8 inch. And so what I've done is I put a 4x4 under here and I just let the deck down, and then onto the 4x4. And then of course what I'm going to do is lift this up. I'm going to set that there where I want it, and then you see I can lift it right there like that, and then punch my holes in it. Of course I want to get my front to back right. Again, I want to have at least 1 inch over here. So that's how we're going to do that. All right, I drilled me 1 hole right here to start with, and then we have these little trees. I think they call them I don't remember what they call them. Now let me see. Let me get the proper pronunciation for you. Tree nut. There you go, tree nut. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this tree nut. I put a piece of cardboard under here to get my height. Yep. Real high tech, man. All right, here's a backside view. We got the 2/4 inch trees in there. We're gonna have to drill some more holes, but this does come with a little piece of angle that what I did is cut it to go in between here. Now I left a little bit of gap because I don't want it hitting, but that is gonna actually go under here between these two like that, I guess. I don't know, maybe they put it on top of that. But see, the problem I'm gonna have, sorry about that, the problem I'm gonna have again, because this is mounted so high, is I'm not gonna be able to put it there. I'm gonna have to put it, see, this is just barely up flush with that. If I lift it any more, in other words, I had to set this whole assembly so high, and I could, I guess, drop down and drill new holes, but I got it so high that if I lift this up any higher, I'm gonna have a big gap at the bottom, and I don't want that. So so I'm just gonna make this thing work. Either I'm gonna make this work, or it's gonna be like my advanced chute system. There's just gonna be debris that comes up through there, but either way, I gotta have this where I've got it. So all right, in my opinion, in my application, this is gonna do more harm than it does good, because it's gonna hold this plate out, and I don't want it to do that. I can't run it all the way down. It wasn't long enough to go all the way down, and if I did, I'd have to notch out around all this stuff. Well, I just couldn't do it down here, so you know, there's really no point in it for me. So for my application, not gonna work. So I got these two in. I'm gonna get these tightened up, make sure I got this where I want it, then I'm gonna drill, you know, some more holes, and I hope that these don't hold. I will show you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put these in openings, because if I put it all the way at the back, it's going to come down and hit this, and that's going to create a gap. So they're going to all be in this opening. All right, that's my pro tip. All right, next step is to get this spring pulled over here. So I don't even have a flat wrench out here. A lot of times you can, it shows in the instructions, hook a flat wrench over that and pull it and let it go over. So I may go grab one or grab my pliers. Pliers were readily available, so that's what we're going to try. We'll see anyway. There we go. I'm just trying to check out my fit right now. Does look like I got a little gap. As you can see, maybe a little gap here. I don't know, maybe that's not bad. I got a little one at the back too. It almost makes me think I need to loosen these and slide this out just a hair. So I might do that real quick. All right, that's a little better in terms of being even. And again, we're not really mulching with this so much as, you know, probably if I put those little trees behind there and, you know, they hit, it would hold it out just a little, you know, I'm sure. But main thing these are for, my #1 reason for these is to prevent injury from person or equipment. I mean, that is my reason, you know. I don't want somebody to get hit. I don't want a window knocked out. I don't want a ding in a car. I don't want that kind of stuff. I mean, if I just wanted to mulch, I'd get me a mulching plate to go on it, you know, if that's all I was worried about. But I want something where I don't, and then of course putting stuff in flower beds and things like that. But that's my main purpose. So anyway, this is now in fact mounted, and next step is going to be to mount our cable, our control cable. Next step in the process is to get the control cable hooked up to the base. First step in this process was this was down, the spring was hooked here, unhook the spring, flip this over, get it where it's accessible, and then to come on this end, pull the rubber boot off, loosen up one of the nuts. Again, all this is per the instructions. Inside the package, we had a couple of pins that we needed. We got a 1/4 inch clevis pin and a cotter pin. So there's only one that will fit through this, like that there. So we're going to take this according to our instructions here, and we're going to do this number here. We're just going to put this through here, put the cotter pin through it, and put the cotter pin, or put the clevis pin through it rather, and then take the cotter pin and put it on there temporarily here. It doesn't say which direction it's supposed to go, so we're going to take here temporarily and just bend it a little bit. We'll come back and bend it good later. So that's what we got right there. That that right there. So now we're gonna have to move on to putting the cable on. All right, then you're gonna take this, rotate it, close it. You're going to take the rubber piece and one of these nuts and put them in front of that assembly so that you can push that through. That's what it should look like right there. Now I'm going to take and tighten this nut down. I'm not going to really tighten it down. It says to leave, I believe, a minimum. Spin that on so that a minimum of 2 threads are showing. So we're just going to put that on there a little ways like that. Then we should be able, I guess, to tighten this nut back up to the back side. And again, we're just snugging all this stuff right now. I'm sure there's got to be some adjustment done to it. So we're just doing all this by hand. So that's what you end up with when it's all said and done. That little rubber piece will pop back on here, and that will keep water from getting all down in your cable. So that's that end of the assembly right there. Then we need to take the spring, and we got to put the spring, and I can do that by hand. We're going to put the spring back on down here. So yep. Major disaster. Caffeine abuse, man. Swung the cable around, hit my coffee. It's all over the place now. Bummer. All right, let's get to mounting this thing. All right, I don't 100% know if I'm gonna like this right here, but this is where I'm putting it at. And I just drilled out through these. It's supposed to be 11/32, so I took a 5/16, just reamed it a little bit. So I'm gonna tighten it down, we'll get the cable routed, we'll see if I like it there. If not, I only made just a little small hole in it. Really wouldn't be able to tell if I put some paint on it. So we're gonna check it out and see what we think. All right, guys, gals, there it is. I had to quit the video the other night. It just got too late. I need to get in and get some things done. I'm going to kind of show you what I did here with the routing of the cable, and then we're going to kind of look over the whole thing. I know this was a broke up, jacked up video. I had a lot of trouble with this thing. It was not as simple as I thought it was going to be. So here's what we got. I mounted the foot pedal, like I said, I just drilled out through these. I drilled me a hole right there, okay? And I got all the burrs off of it. I'm gonna try to get me some small rubber grommets to go around that or something, because I don't want that just rubbing, or either that. The other thing I have is some loom like you would put on wire. I may put loom on here and put a tie wrap here just so that it's got that loom around it, or even a piece of rubber hose. I got some clear plastic hose, I might use that, but I just want something to keep it from, you know, chafing right there. I also come up here through the front of the deck, and I did the same thing. So I got a hole through there. This is run under that pulley assembly. I could not tell if there was anything under there that would rub on it. I can't feel anything under there with this, so I'm guessing I'm good. So that keeps, the reason I drilled here is I want to keep this thing laying down nice and flat. I don't want it getting up around those belts. Then of course I brought around here a little bit sharper bend than what I want right there, to be honest, but you know, it seems to be opening and closing fine, so we're just gonna kind of go with it. So let me give you a quick overview of what I had to end up doing. Like I said, I mounted, this doesn't move some, I haven't put the other hole in it and the other bolts in it yet, but yep, this dropped down. The picture showed this bracket under here to be flipped down. I had to flip it up. It's the only way it would work with my setup. And and everything's still good. I got about a 1/4 inch under here, you know, an 1/8 to 3/16 to a 1/4 under here. I did not put any bolts in the top here because, again, I don't want those trees right there. If I do that, it's going to be up here and it's going to hit on this. So I just didn't do that. Mine does stick out a little bit because this deck hangs over a little bit right here. I'm really not worried about that. I mean, I could shave that down with a grinder and repaint it, but I really don't want to do that to a new deck. But it closes pretty good. I think it's going to serve the purpose that we need. So all of this is pretty simple. It was missing a cotter pin for this. I just got a piece of wire in here right now. When I go to town, I'll pick me up a good cotter pin to go in there. Then, of course, you just do your adjustment. You know, you just got to do your adjustment. When you push the pedal down, you got enough for it to pull this to get it to that point. And once it gets there, it'll flip up on its own. You pull it again, it flips it back down. So, and then of course on the GrassFlap, if you're not familiar with them, you can partially push this, you see, and you can open it really to any amount you want to keep you know, to keep grass if you want to feather it a little bit. So the only thing I got left to do on here, like I said, is get some of those in fact, I may go ahead and get those pieces of hose and just put them on there so you can see that, as well as drill out these holes. And this one doesn't have a hole, so I got to drill it. This side already has a hole in the bracket, but I do need to straighten it back up. So I'm going to do all that, and then I'll kind of give you an after. So real quick, just to show you what I did here. That's a piece of rubber hose. Clear plastic hose. You can get that stuff for probably $1 a foot at your local hardware store. Tie wraps on it where it can't go through there, but it still got room to move. And if it does any chafing on it, it'll be on that. It'll just be something, you know, I can kind of keep an eye on over time, see how it's doing. Ooh, I see some lightning. Same thing back here. Got one right here. And that does not move independent of the cable, so I got that tie wrap tight. Got a tie wrap under the bottom side here as well. And I did not drill out the hole. They tell you that you have to drill this hole, but here's what I got left. I got these washers, which again, I seen no need to put those spacers under there like they had told me to put. I got a couple of carriage bolts here, and a couple of 5/16 bolts, which I don't see any use for at all. No nuts for these. I'm just not sure, man. You know, I'm gonna get these instructions out real quick here and look at them. Trying to see if it's got a parts list for the parts bag, and it doesn't. I gotta be honest, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I've done a lot of this kind of stuff, and not real happy with GrassFlap, honestly. I think I'm gonna be happy with the part, but the installation instructions, the parts, yeah, I don't know. And I realize that these are made to fit multiple units, and you know, this is the new VX4. This is the new VX deck, maybe a little bit different. If I were putting it, see, on this one, if I were putting it on this one, on the X1, which I got to clean off, we just cut today, those holes are already there. And this may be a little bit wider than what that one is, and it might sit down in it, so I don't know, you know, but I am not overly impressed, but we got it on, and you know, I think it's gonna work. It's gonna be fine, but it's just one of those kind of things that certainly I have got. Of course, now I was trying to record and walk through some of this with y'all, and I know I probably didn't help you any, but I got 3 hours in installing this thing. That's a lot of time for something like that. So Anyway, we're going to get some action of it running here pretty soon. So, hey, I appreciate you tuning into the video. I hope in some way it helps somebody out. And my prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you, that you might see all of your blessings as from him. Hope you have a great day.